Hello, welcome to the Tom and Will FPL show. My name is Tom.
And my name is Will, and welcome to our brand spanking new football show where we'll be talking everything fantasy Premier League.
Yes, it's a very special edition because I'm actually on the road. I'm on holiday. I'm not usually dressed like a pina colada with lighthouses in the background. I am in France, of course. Will's back in London. So yeah, you lucky devils are getting a podcast. Doesn't matter where we are. Now, on today's show. Yeah, exactly.
Commitment. Episode 1, commitment. Yes,
yeah, boom. And on today's show, we have pre-season roundup. We'll be giving you the lowdown, the games that went on this weekend from our Premier League teams. They know how they got on, who's looking good, who's looking not so good. Then we'll go on to FPL. Will and I will be discussing our drafts. We'll let you know where we are at the moment. Players we're looking at, a little bit of strategy. And then we will be finishing things with our exciting new segment, Match of the A.
Aye.
Match of the AI, which we're just gonna tease it for now. We'll tell you about it when we get there. But first, we're gonna kick off with some listener questions, guys. Thanks for getting in touch on
listener
X
question.
over the last week. Listener questions. We've had it just over 3 questions this week.
Love it.
First one's for you, actually, Will. It's from Big Baz. You spelled big with 3 I's. Hi, Will. You have a kind face and a pretty mouth. Do you want to hook up? Okay, sorry guys, we've got 2 questions this week. Questions.
Keep those questions coming in.
It's from Matt in Barcelona. Matt would like to know, who do we support? What football teams do we support? And that's a great question. We're just your typical northern lads, aren't we, Will? I'm a big Liverpool fan.
And I'm a huge Manchester United fan.
Oh, I was wondering where you're going there. What's that?
I'm a huge Manchester United fan. As you can hear, we are lifelong Manchester United fan. Have been since I was 4 years old. What about you, TK?
Sure. No one's going to believe that. Let's carry on. Last question.
What are we up to? Oh yeah, one more question.
We got one more question. This is from Phil in Falmouth. Tom, I was reading somewhere that you've had 2 top 50k finishes in the last 5 years. Is that true?
Can't believe that you've shoehorned this back in,
mate. It's embarrassing.
We cut this bit out. Phil, we said we weren't going to talk about it because,
mate, we owe it to Phil, who's got in touch. He's a listener. And he's sent his question. He's taken the time. The least we can do is answer that. Phil, it is true. It is true. I know. In the last 5 years, have arguably been the most difficult to be an FPL manager. But listen, for us. It's about the love. It's about the journey, not the destination, Phil. So you won't get any one-upmanship on this episode.
Well, that's true. I did take you to the very brink last season, and you just picked me up the post.
We had a good season. Yeah, it was a good run.
We'll talk about that in the future episodes. But Tom, let's crack on with the pre-season.
Come on, right? So just to timestamp this is Monday morning we're recording. There were some games played on Saturday, Sunday. There was a load last week as well, which I won't go into, but I might reference them slightly. So Saturday, Newcastle lost to Yokohama 2-0. Spurs lost to Bayern 2-1. Not so great for the English team so far, though. Porro scored a beautiful goal.
Keep that noted.
And that's a couple for him in pre-season now, which is great. So he's on the radar for sure. Ipswich beat Hoffenheim 1-0.
Big game.
Jack Taylor with the goal. Hoffenheim might have been undefeated last year, but then undefeated this pre-season, I could say that. Oberg beat Leicester 1-0. Everton beat Preston 3-0. Calvert-Lewin, Jake O'Brien with goals, along with Lindstrom, who scored a lovely free kick.
Nice.
Two new signings, I believe, Jake O'Brien and Lindstrom, so that's great. Southampton beat Millwall 1-0. Adam Armstrong with the goal. Brighton beat QPR. Danny Welbeck with a penalty. Brentford drew to Watford. Kevin Sade with the goal. Man City. Man City played Chelsea after drawing to Barcelona earlier in the week. Haaland was seen with a brace on his leg. Pep's come out saying, "Oh, he's not fit. He can't hack it." Then he's in the starting lineup.
Niggles.
He'd scored 2 goals in the first 6 minutes. By the way, hat trick for Haaland. Everyone had taken him out of their teams. They'll be bringing him back in now. Oscar Bob also got on the score sheet, and then Sterling and Madueke got goals for Chelsea. That's a couple for Madueke now in
Nice,
pre-season.
nice.
Rounding off Saturday's action, Villa lost to CF America 1-0. And then Sunday, Palace beat West Ham 3-1. Mitchell, Schlupp, and Edouard with the goals for Palace. Antonio got one for West Ham. Wolves beat Leipzig 3-0. Sarabia had a cross turned in for an own goal. Then he got on the score sheet himself, and then Gomez got the last goal for Wolves. Then the main highlight of the weekend:
Oh yeah,
Man United losing 3-0 to Liverpool.
terrible game.
Will you stay up to watch it?
I did. I watched it. I thought it was a good game. I mean, it was actually a good game. I think Liverpool looked really sharp. Just counter-attacking, great football, and exactly what you want from these pre-season games. It's just the result means nothing. No one really cares about these results, but at least you want to see the team kind of gelling a little bit, and you can start seeing showcasing some of the skill set. United were awful, putting a load of players out that we're hopefully going to sell. Luckily, none of them got injured, and just didn't really look any good. So
Mm.
yeah, great for the rest of the season.
Same old, you could say.
Well, let's just see. Hopefully, by this time next week, then we'll have some more information, have our players back after the Community Shield, and also hopefully some new transfers. So
Yeah. Carvalho scored another goal. He scored against Arsenal earlier in the week, so he's in a good
yes,
pre-season. Jones and Simicast got the other
Jones
goals.
Jones
So
looks
that
great.
yeah, it'd be good if he can stay fit this season and lock
Agree.
down a place. But it's very competitive in the Liverpool centre midfield area at the moment. So that
Best way
rounds
to
up.
be. Best way to
Yeah,
be.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, so that rounds it all up. Good stuff.
Yeah, yeah. So we're moving on to FPL while we're all here. I'll quickly go through. We've had some rule changes, which I'm sure you're all aware of by now, but I'll
Mm,
very quickly go through it. So the accumulation of transfers was the big one. It's gone up from 2 transfers to 5 transfers. Which, if you can save them up, if you're that type of manager, I'm not. I'm going to spunk all them transfers straight away. Then you can get yourself a mini wild card. Yeah, so it depends if you can do it, great. There's a little bit of strategy that's
mm,
new to this season about how you
yeah.
play when you play your chips, and yeah, it's interesting. It's made it much more interesting. It's going to be fun. There's also a new chip which is coming out in January, and Will, the Premier League, they know what it is, don't they?
Oh
Oh
yes,
shit, they do.
they
They've got
have
no idea what it's
no
going to be. They
no
don't know.
clue.
Guys, give us some more time. We've still not figured this mystery chip out yet. Just give
Yeah,
us till January.
exactly,
We'll sort it out by then. Um,
exactly.
yeah, who knows what it will be? They've got some ideas. Maybe a limitless chip. Maybe bringing back all out attack, something like that. Um, we'll find out.
Yeah, could
We'll
be
find out.
anything. Who
We'll
knows?
know. We'll know when they do. And then bonus point system has had a bit of an overhaul. Um, Saving a penalty for goalies now will be
Mm,
reduced from 15 points to 9 points. Goalkeepers and defenders conceding a goal will be worth -4 BPS. A
yeah.
goal line clearance will be worth 3 BPS. A foul one will be worth 1. A shot on target will be worth 2. So obviously summarizing that, you're now defenders are basically, it's going to be much more difficult for them to get bonus points after a game now.
Mm.
If they're conceding any goals, they really need an attack in return, which I guess was the same before, but
It's nice to have a
this
little
year
bit
got
of
some clear.
clarity. Yeah, some nice because sometimes I don't know about you, Tom. Last season or multiple seasons, you're just like, why haven't I got any bonus pointers from that game? Like I've got the guy played incredibly well, and then
Yeah,
it didn't work out. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it plays out.
yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm with you, mate. I'll be completely honest. I have no idea how they've been working them out previous seasons, but now they're telling me
Wizardry,
this. Great. I can
wizardry.
actually, yeah, I might actually use this information for some good.
Yeah, I mean, who knows?
Yeah, let's see. And then, so moving on, we've had some nice pricing and
Oh yeah,
increases, decreases made the game very interesting. Haaland is
yeah,
now the most expensive player of all time at 15
15,
million.
big time.
Palmer is had the biggest increase of any player of all time. He went from 5 million to 10.5, um, which is great. Again, makes the
Hmm.
game more competitive. Arsenal had the best defense last year. all their defenders, bar Timber, who barely kicked a ball last season, they're all 6 million. Timber's 5.5. Trent has gone down from 8.5 to
Mm,
7. And then Kunku's gone down. He could be the biggest mistake that FPL have made potentially if he
yes,
stays fit and stays in the form that we're seeing in pre-season. He's going to be in everyone's teams. He's going to be an absolute bargain.
it's a
So
great
I've
player.
seen him in a
He's
lot of teams.
absolutely.
Yeah. So especially with Palmer coming late back from international duty,
Mm.
Kuku's had a full pre-season. He's going to be in everyone's teams, and then maybe they'll go to Palmer later down the line. Maybe they won't. Um, yeah. Any thoughts on any of that, William? Before I get
Yeah.
to looking at your first draft.
So I mean, it's interesting with the five rolling transfers. If you can get to there, I think it will. I think it's going to be interesting. I was a bit skeptical at first, and maybe that's why they've given us that mystery chip because it might not work out as well as they think. So I don't know. Maybe they'll use it as like a more negative chip. I don't know that you have to play like in January. I don't know. It could be anything, but we'll see. I
That
like
would
the
be
price.
mental, by the way. I'd love
That
that.
would be mental, but like just as something like who knows?
Guys,
There's
I'm
something
doing
in
too good. I'm just going to flip this chip, man,
no,
and
but no
make
more.
everyone.
Moreover, if it was something that like it was something that you had to play in January. It wasn't a like complete like it was a just to be like we have to change all of our team and not have any of the same players or something for one
Yeah.
game week. I don't know, like it'd be, but I doubt that.
That
Obviously, they
would,
will never do that. They'll
it
never
would cause uproar, but
do. It would
it'd be
do.
interesting.
It would do. Apart
It'd
from
be
that,
like, hey guys, remember when we gave you that free wild card in January? Well, payback, payback's a
yeah,
bitch.
good.
Take
Yeah,
that.
done. No, they have no clue. Neither do I.
Yeah,
But so, yeah, apart from that, I mean, yeah, I think all the bonus points and whatnot that great, but the pricing, I think the pricing has been fantastic. Like the team, I've made so many drafts. The one I've got right now is definitely not the one that I'm going to be picking, but I just thought I would show one that was slightly different. And it's interesting. I like everything is just so you can't really get a really well balanced side. I think the pricing is fantastic. What do you think, Tom?
yeah. No, I think so. I mean, I think it's obviously it's we're getting some really varied teams what we're seeing at the moment because
Mm,
not every we're going to come to it. Obviously, the Salah and Haaland debate
yes.
is just causing it's just mayhem. Everyone can't decide what's the best combination to have. You can't have
Mm,
them all. So well, we're not getting a template. Basically, is what we're seeing, which is perfect. That's what we want. We don't want to have
yeah.
template teams. Everyone has the same teams. Haaland, as a result of this, he's down in like the 30s. 30% ownership,
Yeah.
35%, something like that. So
Yeah.
rather than at this point last year, he was around 90.
It
So
was yeah.
this is
Uh,
like mission complete from FPL. They've smashed it
totally.
and it's great.
Totally.
So anyway, let's have a look at some drafts, shall we? Let's see how this has been reflected in our
Yes.
current teams. Do you want to go first,
Sir.
Rob?
Absolutely, yeah. So I'm just going to rattle through sort of like the different sections and jump in whenever you want, TK. So
Mhm.
I have got in goal. I have got full name Carlos Miguel dos Santos Pereira. Nailed
Great
it for
name.
Nottingham Forest, Nottingham Forest. But and then I've also got Turner from Nottingham Forest. Now this is something that I'm definitely going to change. The reason why I've kept them both in there is because Nottingham Forest had a great defence last season. I think they were something like Tom, correct me if I'm wrong. I think they were like fourth or fifth in the best defence
Mm.
of last season. So I'm definitely changing one of those. I'm not going to have both Nottingham Forest
Well,
keepers for
the thing
rotation.
is, it's a set and forget. By having both of them, if Miguel gets injured, Turner's coming straight in, so it actually works beautifully, and it means you're saving yourself a keeper transfer down the line.
That,
The only thing I
that,
would say is I think they've got another goalie as well,
yes,
and there's
that's
talk of maybe even another goalie coming, Ramsdale. So
yeah.
I guess the only problem with Turner is he's not a locked in number two,
No,
but he might well be.
so I'll likely switch Turner out. Keep whoever Nottingham Forest goalkeeper is, as long as
Yeah,
it's between 4.5 and 4 million, and because I've got zero money in the bank. But I'll probably bring in like an Areola or someone like that, that if I do need to rotate. And I'll
yeah.
see which ones. I have a little look through the
Mm.
game weeks. Right. So moving on. I'm gonna. So my defense. Let's start with some of my potentially a bencher, but a great bencher. And Tom, you put me onto this guy. I'm probably going to butcher the names, and get used to that because I'm terrible with names. But is it just
God, guys.
but
This is
but?
the reason we started the podcast, guys. Just wanted to document Will's pronunciation of players. Started well with Miguel, though. Jesus.
I was
Showing
practicing.
off.
I was practicing that. No, this one's not too hard, but it might be pronounced differently. Is it just Barco?
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Barco. So Barco from Brighton, £4 million. Yeah, you put me onto this guy. Apparently, he is. Oh, here we go. He's filling in for
For
Espitu- Espetutian.
I don't know,
Espetutian.
just PI your misery. Estupinian.
That's the one.
Estupinian. Yeah,
Estupinian.
yeah. Good
I
effort
can't. Cheers, man.
there.
Yeah, so and Estupinian, who was a great player, although Brighton's defence did suffer a little bit in the last season,
They
he
weren't
is
great. They weren't
expected
great.
back. Like they're saying, end of September, maybe even October.
Yeah,
So
and I think
and
that's, to be honest, I think that's on the FPL website. They can't
yeah,
sometimes they go off some kind of knowledge, but I think for all intents and purposes, they're not sure when he's coming back. Basically,
yeah. I mean,
um,
yeah, it says here that it's like 14th of September, but that sounds
mm,
like a bad injury or whatever, an ankle injury. So who knows? Anyway, so but this guy's on Barco's on like corners and set pieces, and it looks pretty good. So yeah, next up I've got Mikalenko, sorry, for
Mikalenko.
Everton. Yeah, great player. Was solid last year for me, 4.5. I've got Trent Alexander-Arnold for £7 million. I think he's a steal, and if he slots in to Slot's team, well, then I think he's going to be a great player. I've then got Gvardiol, Man City. Again, I mean, he was literally up front half the time last season. Another spenny one at 6 million. And then I've got Harwood Bellis for Southampton, who apparently had a blinder of a season last season, but I have no idea. He's one of those defenders where, as the season progresses, especially the beginning of the season, we'll know more about those great defenders that are having a good early start to the season. So yeah, what do you reckon to that defensive lineup then, DK?
I like it. Yeah, I like it, mate. It's strong. Obviously, Vardial. You've got the same two. I mean, spoiler alert, same two differentials that I've got in Barco and Heart of Venice. I think they're just
Yeah,
they're gifts really because they're playing 4.0s.
yeah,
And Mikalenko, he was in my very first draft because Everton, we know they keep clean sheets, particularly towards the end of the season. Right,
yeah,
they always take a while to get going, but if you do hold him that long, then maybe you'll get some returns on him. Obviously, Trent's Trent. There'll be a bit of a question mark as to where he's going to play.
yeah. Right.
We don't know what Slot's going to do, like you say, but you'd think he's going to be playing somewhere. So we'll see.
So
We'll see.
yeah,
It's a strong back line, mate. I like it.
I hope he has a good season, Trent. I like the guy. So right, so midfield. I am going to start with Mr. Saka from Arsenal. Bernardo Saka is Bakari. Sorry, Saka is he's such a great player, but the problem with Saka for me is whenever I have him in my team, he doesn't do anything. But whenever I don't have him in my team, he absolutely slams me. Tom, I
Yeah,
think you have the same
we have the
problem,
exact
don't you?
same problem.
So,
Yeah,
so you're
exact
going to
same
be
problem.
quiet. I
He
remember
is.
last season.
I detest owning him.
Yeah,
It's an absolute nightmare. Whenever I have him, awful, does nothing. Like he plays every game, but he just doesn't get any returns. As soon as I sell him, he bangs,
I
and that's
remember.
the way it's been, and that's the way it will always be. And
Yeah,
yeah, you can
I
see
remember
why
last
he's
season.
my team.
I remember last season. I told you, Tom. I was like, I've got him in my team. Don't worry, Tom. He won't score anything. And you were like, thanks, mate. So, and you did some damage. Anyway, so moving on. I then got Eze for Crystal Palace, 7 million. He's a fantastic player. I love this guy. Like, I think he's brilliant. I'm a bit surprised that no one's picked him up in the transfer window. Obviously, still a little while to go, but I'm sure Crystal Palace are digging their claws into that guy.
They've sold us. They've sold Elise, so
Yeah,
I think they'll keep hold of him. I mean, they'll certainly try. There was rumours Sniffy, Man
Sniffy.
City were sniffing around
Yeah.
a Sniffy City were
Yeah,
sneaking in for him, but I don't know. I think he's
really.
going to stay. I think he'll stay.
Yeah, yeah. Good. Then I have Mr. Mohamed Salah. What a player! What an absolute champion of FPL.
The Egyptian
Love the
King.
The Egyptian King, love him. I mean, everyone knows if you played FPL before, you know what he's done. You can't ignore him.
FBL royalty, mate.
Exactly. Hopefully, that Liverpool. I love watching him play. That's one thing about that you all know about this game is I just like teams that play good football. And Liverpool, when this guy's on the pitch, it's a joy to watch. So yeah, I've picked Mo Salah in my defense in my midfield. Then I've gone to Gordon. Newcastle 7.5, great player. Hopefully, he gets has a good season. He has a slightly better time away from home, which he wasn't as strong as when he was at home in front of his home crowd. He was a fantastic player last season.
He was incredible.
And
His record at home,
yeah,
unreal last season.
yeah,
He was like a banker. He was the
yeah.
definition of a home banker.
But then away from it was such a shame because when he as soon as they went away, you felt like you had to bench him because he was that. Well, he wasn't bad. He just it's because his home fixtures were so good. I think.
Yeah, you certainly felt that he was benchable away. Do you know what I mean? If you
Yeah,
had any conundrums, you're like, well, he's away this week. He could go on the bench.
yeah.
Whereas at home, you're leaving him in.
Which, if I mean, if you looked into it for rotation purposes, that's mate, if it might not be a bad thing, but you just have to understand that you got 7.5 locked into a player that only plays essentially half the fixtures. But then it might leave you a bit of differential there for the teams that for the FPL teams that don't do that and have him. Um, my last player is my one of my favourite players in the Premier League, has been for quite a while. Is Sonny. Like Son is for Tottenham is one of my. I think he's another absolute pleasure to watch. If he's when he was up front, he was just dynamite. Obviously, Richarlison would finally found some form, which pushed him on the left, but he was still deadly. And he's really low percent owned at the as we when we're recording this. I think he's only on around 10 to 12% ownership. So it could be a bit of a differential, but he is a little bit expensive for 10 million. But he's one of the players that I'm not 100% sure about. But I like his first two fixtures, or his first fixtures against Everton, against Leicester, and then Everton, and then he's got a couple of stinkers, Newcastle and Arsenal. So, but we'll see. I mean, we'll see. I think he could be an
I like
interesting.
him. I like him as a pick. Like you said, I think he's an expensive differential, but he is a good differential.
Yeah,
We know that when he is up for it and he is on form,
yeah.
he is unstoppable. He's probably the best finisher in the league, to be honest with you.
His records, the statistics on his finishing, I think he's one of
Yeah,
the best finishers in the world. Like
since
when
Robbie
he,
Fowler. But
that's
no.
ridiculous.
To my point. To my point. To my
Yeah,
point.
yeah,
He's great. He's been playing well in pre-season. He's got like
yeah,
three, I think three in the last three, something like that.
yeah, yeah.
So he's looking up for it.
The,
Richarlison is still not. I don't know if he's going to start actually. Richarlison.
no, because
Sounds like
there
he's
is.
still
I
not
mean,
fit.
isn't there a little bit of speculation that Mr. Ivan Tony could go to Tottenham as
Yeah,
well?
they do look like they are in the market for a striker.
And and
A
and
couple of
Tony
linked to it.
Tony wants to leave desperately, doesn't he? So
Yeah,
anyway,
a lot of people have gone cold on Tony. There's been some questions about his attitude, and it's kind of scared a lot of people away. But yeah, with
yeah.
Spurs, we'll see. I think, mate, I like your midfield. I think
Thanks.
the only minor issue is that whole international break thing. Just because you've got
Hmm.
three England lads, I think, as we've spoken about before, your thoughts are that Eze and Gordon, because they didn't play so much, you think they'll be
Yeah.
fit and ready for game one, which I think you're probably right with, because I think they're too important to their teams to be
Right.
dropped with Eze and Gordon in particular. Saka played almost every minute for England. He got subbed a couple of times, but he was there to
Mm.
the death. Arteta always plays him, even if he's got like a leg hanging off. Do you know what I mean? He's always in the
Yeah.
team. Yeah. Okay, let's move on to your strikers.
Move on. Okay, so I have I've got a bit of so actually I'll start with I've got Eze. No, yeah, Eze.
Isak.
Why have I said is it? See, this is where I get. See, what happens is I get panicky, and then I'm like, "Oh, I'm going to get it wrong." Isak. And then I
Eze.
looked at
Eze.
it is Eze. I mean, Isak. Right, Isak is obviously he's over 50% owned. Everyone's got him. If you don't have him and he bangs, it's a mistake.
Is he, Will? I don't know if you got it open in front of you. I definitely don't. Is he the most owned player at the moment? I think he is, isn't he? I feel like
Yeah.
he is.
Yeah, he is. He is. Yeah, 100. Yeah, yeah. It was Haaland, and he's the next. I think Salah's up there as well, but it's not. not even 50% owned is a ridiculous amount. So Salah's 35% owned, and at this point, uh, he's 55.4% owned,
Yeah, I've
which
just
is
looked at
a
it
lot.
now. Haaland's actually creeping up now. Since
Oh,
that
as
hat
he,
trick,
yeah,
yeah, since that hat trick, he's almost up to 40% now.
that's yeah,
Which is
doesn't surprise
interesting.
me.
Which is interesting. Okay, cool. So Isak and
Isak, I don't. Do you know what? Actually, just looking at it, then Watkins is 52.1% owned, which
mhm.
is a lot. And yeah, so just as a spoiler, I do not have him. Anyway, so moving on, I have actually got Muniz for Fulham in, and he had a interesting season last season. He dropped off towards the end, but he did great for me. He was a real differential, and I quite like their fixtures because I have a bit of a tendency to do something a bit dirty, and this is what did me well last season, so well last season. And I like to play because I watch a lot of Manchester United games. I can see that we're not that strong, and they have, albeit Fulham have Manchester United away first game of the season. And if we played anything like we played against Liverpool, this guy's going to bang. And then the rest of his fixtures are fantastic. So we'll see a bit of a differential again. See if I can try and make some money out of him at the beginning of the season.
Mhm,
And then
mhm.
my next player is a well-known striker called Ross Stewart, plays for Southampton.
What do you know about this guy, Will?
I know that he is 4.5 million. He's 1.8% owned, and he has no other statistics because he wasn't
Great.
playing in the Premiership last season. And he
I
doesn't
know
even have
nothing
this.
about this guy, I'm not
Do you
gonna
know what?
lie.
For the viewers who are watching on YouTube, as you can see, if I don't know if it's been updated, but he doesn't have a picture. He's just got a shirt. He
Great.
doesn't have his. He doesn't have it. So
Okay.
you'll
So
see
this
that.
guy is bench fodder for William.
Look, Southampton fans, drop a comment down below in the on the stream
Yeah.
if you can give us some info.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, get in touch. Someone with FPL, please let Will know about the guy he's just thrown into his team.
Yes, but that's it. That's my team. And yeah, zero left in the bank, and
I'll tell you what, in your defence, mate, I've not looked down there at the 4.5s, 5.0 strikers. I ain't got a clue what your options are. So I think he's as good
I,
as any, right? He's as good as
I
any because
think
he ain't playing.
I literally went like 4.5. Who's at the top?
Yeah.
And at the top actually is Fraser for Wolves, Nathan Fraser at 5.1, but don't know much about him either. And Stuart's third.
All right.
So there you go. Anyway, right, that's
Great.
enough about my
Lovely.
team.
Great
What do you
team.
reckon? Yeah, well, we'll come back to this. We're going to change this next week without a doubt. But Tom, let's hear
Yeah,
about your
exactly.
team. I want to
All
see.
right, sweet. Yeah, let's do my team. Let's do my team. So, I've gone for set and forget goalies. I've gone for Raya in goal. I've currently got Danny Ward 4.0 doing nothing. I'm not actually sure who Leicester's number one is. But anyway, he's not playing because I've got Raya and he will be playing. I've got Pedro Porro at the back, Anderson, Vardiol, Harwood Bellis, and Barco. So currently in the starting lineup, I've got Barco and Howard Bellis on the bench, and I've got Poirot, Anderson, and Vardiel. The reason I've got them, obviously, Vardiel, we know he's a strong asset. He's arguably the best defensive asset. Uh, he's very attacking. He takes a lot of shots, right? So I'm thinking about BPS. Anderson, we know he gets on the end of
Mm,
a lot of headers, scored a lot of
he
goals, scored
does.
well last season. Pedro
Yeah,
Porro, we know what we're getting with these guys. Super
yeah,
attacking. He's going to be more in the opposition's box probably than he is his own. I'm not
yeah.
expecting clean sheets out of Pedro Porro, but I am
No,
expecting
free
some attacking
kicks.
returns.
Free kicks. He's always. I think
He's
he
just
takes a few,
involved,
doesn't
mate.
he?
He's
Yeah.
he's yeah, he's heavily involved, and yeah, like I say, he's got a couple of goals in pre-season, so he
Yes.
seems up for it. Midfield, like you, I've got Gordon. Um, I keep seeing that he's getting linked with Liverpool. I know it was a whole thing with PSR and us trying to
Really.
sneak him out the door because Newcastle needed money, but this might just be the Liverpool fan. It sounds like his head's been turned a little bit, and he's interested in going back
Really.
to Liverpool.
I did
Yeah,
not hear that.
there's a lot of chat. I think Fabrizio Romano, who is very well
Yeah.
respected with his opinion, he thinks that Liverpool are done with this deal and we're going to come back in for him at some
That's
stage.
super interesting. Okay.
Yeah, but if it did happen, I don't know if he's the asset that he is for Newcastle. Do you know what I mean? I think there'll be more
Who do you
rotation.
have on the left? Who do you
Diaz.
normally?
Diaz is great. The thing is with Diaz, um, there's been loads of weird chat throughout the window that he was maybe going to Barcelona. I've not seen where this has come from. Nothing seems to be materializing. I think Diaz is amazing. He's fantastic.
Absolutely.
So I'm not worried about Gordon not coming, but I do rate him very highly if he did come. I think it'd be great
Mm,
signing.
yeah,
So Gordon, Odegaard,
great.
Brennan Johnson, sorry. Harvey Elliott is my differential,
Oh
and
man,
I've got the Egyptian King, obviously,
of course, of
Lacazette.
course.
Although Harvey Elliott is a bit of a enabler at 5.5, he's playing really well. He played fantastic against Arsenal last week, 2 amazing assists,
Yeah,
and Klopp. One of Klopp's last things that he said before he left was he regretted not playing Harvey Elliott more last season.
really.
So I
He's
think,
looked so sharp, like, and
mate,
I
his
really rate him.
yeah,
5.5 as well.
I think the only thing that let him down last year is he had a big opportunity in the team when Mo went off to AFCON and
Mm,
Harvey Elliott. It was his time to come in and show what he could do. And I think he just kind of it got to him a little bit. He wasn't himself. He didn't seem kind of carefree. But the player that he is normally, he seemed a bit nervous. He was making mistakes. Then when Mo came back, he kind of settled again, and he was really strong towards the end of the season. He's one of
do
our best players.
do you think that he's locked in for Liverpool?
No, definitely not. But he's had a full pre-season, which a lot of players haven't. We're still waiting on McAllister to come back. We're
Mm,
not sure where everyone's going to play. We know that Slot wants to play with number 10. He's tried to Boslo there. He also tried to Boslo in a holding role against
mm,
United. So he's not made any decisions, any final decisions. And he'll play. The thing is, he'll get minutes, and even when he would come on as a sub. He'd get returns. He's very
mm,
reliable. Elliot, he did well. Um, yeah, so he's good, and he's a good rotation with Johnson for me. I like Brennan Johnson. I'm
mm.
happy to
Yep,
rotate the two depending on the fixtures.
absolutely.
So
I
I
like that.
like that flexibility there. I've got and strikers. I've also got Isak. I love him. He was probably the first player that I put in my team. He's not moved,
Same,
and he's not going to move. And I think I'm
same.
captaining him in week 1 at the moment.
Really.
And I've also got Ollie Watkins, and I've also got Kai Havertz. I'm very happy with this team. As I said to you the other day where I texted you,
Mm,
last week I had Haaland in my team. Like many, I saw the brace. I got a little bit scared on Haaland, and I pulled him from my team. But I also pulled him just because I kind of thought about it. I had instead of Salah in midfield, I had Dom Szoboszlai, and then I had Haaland up top instead
mm,
of Watkins. So
hmm.
by taking Haaland down to Watkins, it freed up the 6 million that I
This is
needed
it.
to upgrade Szoboszlai to Salah. There's a straight swap. So basically, the way I look at it is Salah and Watkins. I think will outscore
Yeah.
Szoboszlai
Well,
and
that's it. Well, that's the thing. Like, he's priced so. I mean, it's the highest player ever to be, the highest priced player ever in FPL, and like for the amount of money, I think we talked about this the other day. Tom is he basically kind of has to score twice in a weird way because
yeah,
for the amount of attacking returns that you could potentially get for two players,
yeah.
it's wild. But if he bangs like
It's
he
two
did.
Dom Solankis,
He is pretty much, but he has to. Yeah, it's crazy. If he has that season that he's had, not so much last season. He had a few injuries, obviously, but his first season, oof, it was
Yeah, I know,
deadly. It was
I
hat
know.
trick, hat
Mm,
trick, hat trick, hat trick,
yeah,
hat trick. You know,
and I
man.
mean,
So
if that happens again, we'll all have him within the first
yeah,
month. We'll all be
and
getting early wild cards, which a lot of, to be honest, a lot of people are thinking early wild
I'm
cards.
thinking about it because
Um,
otherwise, how are you going to get to him if you don't have him at the beginning? You got to do
yeah,
some serious transfers. But yeah, I'm kind of. We'll come to the planning next week. I got
yeah.
some plans. I got some plans.
Mm, nice. We'll save those. Right,
Okay,
that's our teams, guys. So on to
I like
the
it.
exciting segment of the show we've all been waiting for. It's match of the A. Hi.
Bye.
Match of the AI. So, what this is, guys, is Will and I will be picking two five-a-side teams. to have it out against each other. And this game will be played out through the medium of ChatGPT. So, as it's our first episode, and us being Liverpool United fans, it's going to be Liverpool All-Stars versus United All-Stars. We'll take turns at pickings, and then we'll send them on their merry way, and Liverpool will bring back the points for Tom. Will, you want to kick us off?
Okay, so my first pick is none other than the legend, the Great Dane, Mr. Peter Schmeichel in goal. What you got, Tom?
Had to be Schmeichel. I've got Jersey Dudek, mate. You know, I mean, put enough cameras on that guy, he'll be saving everything.
What a legend! What a legend! Okay, defender. I've got a real living legend though. In none other should be knighted Sir Rio Ferdinand. Strong in the box,
good.
both boxes.
He's arguably the perfect five-a-side centre-back, ball-playing centre-back. It's a good pick. But
what you got?
I'm going for Neil Razor-Ruddock, obviously, because on a five-a-side pitch, can you imagine the size of him, mate? Double the size.
Terrifying. Terrifying.
Yeah, absolutely glorious, mate.
Okay, well, this is a matchup. I mean, did these guys play against each other? I think they did. I have Mr. Roy Keane. Oof. Razor Ruddock versus Roy Keane is a horrible thing to behold.
Yeah, it's a good question about those two.
I think they must have done. They must have
crossed paths maybe when he was at Nottingham Forest.
We'll check that. Right, well, you got in the midfield then.
Get some footage. I mean, I'm going to neutralise Keane straight away, and whatever else you got, mate. Because I've got Stephen Gerrard. Obviously, he's going straight in. He's captaining this team. He's going to score a goal. He's Stevie G, mate. He can do it all.
He really can. He's an incredible player. I can't knock that guy. Okay, but I do have someone which you are not. This is gonna make you go a little bit. Oh, Mr. Paul Scholes, who scores goals. Look, you can't. That guy. Everyone's.
I think he was the guy I was hoping wouldn't be in this team.
Tough play. I've could have put quite a few players there, but yeah. Anyway, so who you got up front? No, who have you got midfield? So you got Stephen Gerrard. Who you got up front then, Tom?
Yeah, I'm going to go left field. I'm going left field with this, but I was a big fan of his work when we did have him, and that is, you're not going to know, Mr. Jari Litmanen.
Oh.
So, all right, I know you're picturing him, trying to find out who it is. You're Googling.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Picture Lawrence Llewellyn-Bowen, right? And then just pop a football at his feet, right? Majestic.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
Absolutely majestic. Dishy. Yeah, we didn't have him for long. Finland legend. You're gonna love him. Right.
All right.
Last
nice. Pick. Okay, so up front I have a toss up between Ferdinand and this guy for captaincy, but Mr. Wayne Rooney. In my opinion, prime Wayne Rooney was borderline unplayable.
Speaking of unplayable, we've already mentioned once this episode. The most natural finisher in English history, if not global history, is Mr. Robbie Fowler. It's God himself. Of course he's in this team. Dismiss him at your peril. Right,
solid teams.
Let's do this. Round one.
Right, here we go. So, match simulation, Prime Manchester United versus Prime Liverpool FC. And we've kicked off. So the match begins with United kicking off. Keane immediately takes control in the midfield whilst Gerrard is ready to lead Liverpool with his dynamic play. In the 10th minute, an early attack. Rooney receives a pass from Scholes and drives forward, unleashing a powerful shot. Dudek dives, typical, to make a brilliant save, denying Rooney the opening goal. 18th minute, Liverpool. Gerrard with his trademark drive finds Fowler with a perfectly timed pass. Fowler calmly slots it past Schmeichel with a clinical finish.
Robbie! Told you, mate. Told you.
ChatGPT then always puts in a little quote from the commentator afterwards. This one, he poked it in like a curious schoolboy in a sweet shop. Liverpool takes the lead with Fowler's clever finish. Score 1-0 Liverpool. Right, 25th minute, United response. Here we go. Scholes and Keane combine in the midfield with Keane threading a pass to Rooney. Rooney's curling shot from outside the box beat Dudek, and that finds the back of the net. A goal! Come on.
Fine.
There you go. He's just sent that ball on a world tour. First stop, back of the net. Rooney levels the score with a stunning strike. Score 1-1 for 35th minute. Midfield battle. Keane and Gerrard clash in the midfield, each determined to gain the upper hand. Gerrard attempts a long-range shot. Schmeichel confidently punches clear. 44th minute. Rooney strikes again just before half-time. Skull lost a pass to Rooney, who volleys it past Dudek with precision. Goal!
What minute was that?
44th minute. 44th minute.
Right before half-time. That's a hammer blow.
That goal just filled its taxes because it was top-tier income shot.
Not so good. Not so good, that one.
Need to work on that one. Okay, and I think that is the end of the first half. Score 2-1 to United.
I mean, that was a tough half, but I enjoyed that, mate. ChatGPT is...
Not too bad. Not too bad.
I like it. All right, so second half. Okay, here we go. Are you ready, Will?
I'm ready.
Okay, right. 52nd minute. Energetic start. Liverpool comes out firing with Gerrard dictating play from deep. He finds Littmanen on the edge of the box, who flicks the ball to Fowler. Fowler's low drive is expertly saved by Schmeichel, who shows why he's considered one of the best. 60th minute. United push forward. Ferdinand charges forward from defence, linking up with Keane and Scholes. Scholes attempts a long-range effort with Dudek. He parries it away, keeping Liverpool in the game. Of course he does. 68th minute. Liverpool equalise.
No.
Gerrard takes a quick free kick, catching United off guard. The ball finds Jari Littmanen, who threads it to Fowler. Fowler finishes with a sublime chip over Schmeichel into the onion bag. And then ChatGPT is giving us the curious schoolboy in a sweet shop line again. Fantastic. Here we go. I mean, AI's got to do an AI thing at some point.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
2-2. 75th minute. Defensive heroics. Both teams up the ante with Ruddock making a crucial interception to stop a surging run from Rooney. At the other end, Ferdinand thwarts the Liverpool attack with a perfectly timed tackle on Littmanen. 83rd minute. Last-ditch efforts. Rooney picks the ball up on the left hand, cuts inside, unleashes a curling effort destined for the top corner, but Dudek makes a sensational fingertip play to deny him a hat-trick, no less. 89th minute, late drama. With time running out, Liverpool mounts one final attack. Gerrard launches a crossfield pass to Fowler, who heads it down to Littmanen. Littmanen flicks it past Schmeichel with a deft touch. Goal! 3-2. 89th minute, Jari Littmanen. Talk about bedroom eyes. That ball's been seduced into the net.
That's much better.
That's better. Perfect for Littmanen. Do you know what I mean? Littmanen scores, putting Liverpool in front at the death.
No.
Final whistle. The referee brings the end to a pulsating match that will be talked about for years. Liverpool's late winner seals an incredible victory, while Man United is left to rue the missed opportunities. Full time.
Mate.
Manchester United 2.
What?
Tom 3.
What a game. Honestly, that is...
This is amazing.
If that's how it's going to carry on.
Amazing. Yeah,
if that's how it's going to carry on, though. All right, so it's 1-0 TK. 1-0 TK.
Come on. Right. That is the end of the show. Everybody, thank you very much for listening. This has been our first episode. It would mean a lot to us if you can give us a 5-star review, because, I mean,
absolutely.
5-star, right? Might as well just do it. Like and subscribe. Will, anything for you to say before we sign off?
That's it. Just make sure you drop some comments down below. We'd love to get back to each and every one of you. And it's been a lot of fun. I can't wait for the next episode.
Yeah, man. You'll find us on X and all that jazz. Tom and Will, FPL. We're signing off. See you next week. That is a wrap. Hit the music. Right, boom.